When it comes to making decisions with your creative adverts, particularly if you're in the food industry, it can be quite a challenge to decipher the pure aesthetics from what will actually get you results. Now at S.Media, we have quite a bit of experience in customer habits and customer behaviours, so we have some things to say about what you can do to make your food adverts just that little bit better. The first one being immersing their senses. So obviously in an advert, because it's visual and because they're not actually there, the customer or the viewer isn't actually able to taste what the product tastes like. So you have to make up for the lack of that sensory detail and use things like sight and sound to really, pick up on what they are missing out on. So for a cookie example, they can't taste it, but they might be able to hear the crack of the cookie being split in half. They can see the cookie looking really nice, and that makes up for the fact that they can't taste it. A really good brand example of this is Magnum. So whenever you watch a Magnum ice cream advert, you obviously can't taste it, but they tend to use a cracking sound of the hard exterior of the ice cream, and that just sort of brings a flashback of you yourself eating that ice cream, and that is how you can get people immersed in that video.
Show all the nooks and crannies of your product. Research shows that the majority of viewers watch ads on their mobile device, so conveying full visual through close-up shots is super important. Show the benefit of your product quickly with clear, crisp visuals. Make the product look appealing and stand out as if it is right there in front of you. How stretchy the cheese is on the pizza to make it look appetizing, or a close-up of the silky chocolate being poured into the mould so the viewer can almost taste it. Using a crisp video and imagery goes with any kind of advertising, but especially with food, beverages and restaurant brands.
Of course, there are only so many times that you can show the product in the ad itself. And so one of the ways that you can actually immerse the viewer in the ad a lot more is just presenting a human element. So by incorporating a human into this, it can actually increase the effectiveness of the ad because it has this human story attached to it as well. So IHOP actually had a campaign that was called All You Can Eat Pancakes, and this included both short and long form videos. But actually in the long form video, they had the product plus a human in the ad itself. And you didn't see the face or you didn't see them eating the pancakes, but obviously it just made it a lot more relatable to the viewer than the short form ad that just had the product. So this is a really great way to make your ad appealing to the consumer by incorporating a human element.
One of them is about branding thoughtfully, and what I mean by that, it's really easy to do beautiful food photography and, panning around and showing people enjoying it and all those kind of things, but it's no good just having an end card with your brand on. It could be missed. It's really important to try and get that brand name throughout the ad. Just keep it front of mind. Now, there's different ways of doing that. Some people are a bit lazy and just plonk a little logo in the corner. Sometimes that's quite good. It depends on what you're doing. But I think with food, there's an interesting opportunity, particularly if there's any packaging around it, where you can show people unwrapping the packaging, make it a bit more interesting, keeping that brand front of mind so it's there in the face. There might be other ways of doing it. So I just encourage you to think creatively about the whole aspect of keeping that brand at the front of mind on food ads, because it's not just about the taste and texture. They need to remember who it is. And I think for a lot of brands, it's okay if you're Coca-Cola, you're kind of well known, but if you're a newer brand, you're going to got that name out there, and YouTube's a great opportunity to do that. So yeah, try and think about how you keep the name in front of people throughout the ad, keep it in an interesting way, and I think it'll surely will do you great success.
There is a massive opportunity for you to use long form content to tell the viewer every single little ingredient that is in your product. But don't underestimate how powerful it is, don't tell them what the ingredients are, but tell them what they are going to feel and what they are going to enjoy. So is the product crunchy? Is it mouth-watering? Is it going to taste great? That's what the viewer wants to know, and that's what they're going to take away with them when it comes to watching the advert. So whilst there's a temptation to turn your video into a science project that tells them every single ingredient, yeah, give them some headlines. If there's no GMOs, tell them that, but don't go into every single little ingredient, because what they really want to know is what are they going to taste and feel when they experience eating your product.